Pokemon Legends AZ is right around the corner, and do you know what can be found in the Kalos region? That's right, these fancy, nifty, neat little rocks that give Pokemon a chance to evolve another time. One special time in the limelight that will never be seen again in any other generation. And with some not so recent leaks that showed that Eevee had a flying type that got scrapped, I said, when's a better time to design Mega Eeveelutions for the Eeveelutions that already exist than right now? We know we're never gonna get them, so let's do this. I've got four Mega Eeveelutions for you in this video. We're gonna do Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, and Glaceon. All those that fall exactly in the middle, you know, they weren't brand new, but they aren't the oldest ones. Those are the ones we're gonna do today, and if those are the ones you aren't interested in, well then you're gonna have to wait for a part 2. So originally, all 4 of these Eeveelutions didn't get a rock originally for their evolution, so I think it'd be funny to give them the Mega Stones first. Starting with Leafeon. And yes, I know Leafeon and Glaceon encounter a rock, but they don't get to hold it. Let them hold the little rock. That's all Eevee wants to do, is hold the rock. When it comes to Mega Evolutions, most of them focus on one singular trait that the Pokemon has, and then cranks them up to 10. So for Leafeon, I focused on, get this, now hold your breath, leaves. Added a lot of leaves. The other thing I really wanted to focus on was giving a couple vines, so they have ribbons, kind of like Sylveon does as well, and Glaceon has those that hang down. Bringing all of the Eeveelutions closer together was really my goal with this, funny enough. So added vines and added a collar, because the earlier Eeveelutions all have collars, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, that the rest of them do not, so we're bringing it back, baby. And as far as the pose goes, I wanted to kind of do like a leaf caught in the wind, sort of dancing around and making it look all magical, and I think that came through very well. When you look at other Mega Evolutions that already exist, like Lucario or Gyarados, they tend to add another accent color that wasn't originally there. So for Leafeon, I've added pink. Pink and green are opposites on the color wheel. Thank you, Color Theory, for doing your job, and it looks so good together, giving it this nice little flower pop that the character needed. Add some shading, and here is the final result for our Mega Leafeon. I know Mega Evolutions don't get Pokedex entries, and the lore behind where Mega Evolutions come from, or even what they are, is kind of shrouded in a deep mystery, so I didn't actually make a full Pokedex entry for these Pokemon, but I will say Leafeon was inspired by a forest spirit. So leaves drifting in the wind, dancing around, you get the idea, it works there, and it looks so good! It makes me happy to see them finally get the love and recognition that the Eeveelutions deserve. And by that I mean from the Pokemon Company. I know I'm just a fan and all, and these guys get so much love from the fan community, but come on, I'm begging for these Mega Evolutions, Nintendo, please. And next up, Espeon, the Psychic type. Espeon, I leaned more towards the hairless cat, Sphinx Mao sort of direction. I split the tails up in 2, gaining in psychic power. The gem on the top of her head has opened up to become her 3rd eye, and I played around with going a more fox-like direction and closing the other 2 eyes while the 3rd eye was open, but ultimately decided in going with the original direction I had for her. I don't think we've had a Pokemon based on a hairless cat specifically. We have a ton of cats, but I don't know if any of them are hairless. I used some of the extra little skin folds that hairless cats have to make these fancy little wing things come off of her shoulders. I think it translates nicely, it looks great. And she has these little tufts of hair underneath her ears, but since I was going in a hairless direction, I turned them into really long whiskers in order to give her a more wise look. I also wanted to keep the red bead that was on the center of her forehead, so I put it at the bottom of her 3rd eye, as well as giving her a little bit of extras that float up and make sort of a crown reef around the eye to add to that sort of psychic ability that Espeon has. And without further ado, here is Mega Espeon. I think Volaire knocked this one out of the park. The movement is so good. This is definitely my favorite of the ones we've designed. It looks so uncanny, yet also cute and cuddly at the same time. I want to hug it, but also I want to run away from it. It's perfect! The hardest thing about Espeon is trying not to stir into Sylveon's territory, and same with Sylveon into Espeon, and I think this perfectly stayed away from the fairy type and stayed in the psychic type range. I ended up not giving Espeon any kind of collar like I originally was thinking I would do, and instead opted for the shoulder wings, which work so well. Definitely my favorite. And up next is Glaceon, the ice-type Pokemon. When I see a lot of people redesign Glaceon, I often see Glaceon made fluffier because of the winter, but in my mind, Glaceon is a ice-type in, like, actual fractal ice, the shards, and she's sharp and pointy. So I tried to keep her actually quite thin, and instead opted in for turning her collar into an Aurora Borealis sort of fog or mist that she could hide in, making her seem more mystical and surreal. I added an ice crown, expanding on the tiny little, like, crown she has originally, making it much bigger, much sharper, more into that ice. Definitely a do not pet the cute animal type situation happening here. Leafeon was based off a wind spirit, Espeon was based off of a cat, and Glaceon is definitely based off of some sort of Arctic fox. That's why the tail kind of looks the way it does. It's definitely less sharp than I intended it to be, but that's okay because it fits the fox thematic that's happening. And I ended up not keeping the ribbons that I had started drawing because I felt like there was too much happening right around the face and I wanted the aurora to stand out. Without further ado, here is Mega Glaceon. She's beauty, she's grace, her name begins with Glace. Mega Glaceon, ladies and gentlemen. I think she's beautiful. Definitely luring people to their deaths in the night when they follow the mysterious light in the ice. I mean, definitely friend-shaped. Yep, go pet it. So friendly. In the end, I wish I had kept the ribbon idea. I wish I had made them flow in front of the body instead of behind the head like I had originally planned. So that way there could be more interesting things happening around Glaceon's body. I feel like her body is too plain here. But I do still like the end results. Now, on to Umbreon. Certainly last, but definitely not least. I love this little demon thing. It's so cute. Definitely edgy. If anybody played Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube, y'all know where my favorite comes from. Design-wise, this is actually the first one I was designing, and that's why you see so many sketches go off so rapidly and get deleted so fast. The direction I had was not there, it was not working, I didn't know what I was doing, it was bad, but we settled on Ring God Umbreon. Bro is ascending. Like, look at her, she's going off. I actually love this design so much, you'll see me sketch it in a couple of different poses before I decided on the original main one to keep. I wanted to make it look more like moons, but ended up keeping them rings actually because I thought the aesthetic of like ring hoops circling the ears and the tail was a really cool and fun idea. I've seen a lot of people do moons for Umbreon, half moons, full moons, but I don't think I've actually seen anybody keep them rings before, so I felt like I was going in a decently unique direction with this one. And we've done fox, cat, so Umbreon was kind of based more around being a dog, even if the dog is a very sleek dog, still dog. And I like that the circle on its head also gives it kind of a regal royal look similar to that of Espeon. And here is Mega Umbreon. First to be sketched, last to be rendered. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Tell me your favorite Mega Eeveelution, and tell me which one you're looking the most forward to next time. As always, Vallejo has knocked the animation out of the park. I am so thankful to them for doing this. And with that, I will see you guys at the next phase of the moon. Good night, and goodbye.